Relationships are our greatest source of joy. Ironically, they are also our deepest source of pain. In the past few episodes, we discussed how to cope with the trauma after breakup. Interestingly, many people ask how they will cope with the trauma before breakup. We don't want any relationship to go into divorce or breakup. Therefore, today we're going to be looking at simple ways to make sure that our relationship remains healthy. Hi, welcome once again to my channel, Relationship Matters with Modukweka. Today we want to discuss simple ways that we can avoid conflict, avoid breakup, avoid divorce in our marriages. Ways to strengthen our marriages. Coexistence is not possible without understanding and respect for universal values such as truth, freedom, respect for each other, and many other universal values. Learning to talk about why without ridiculing or humiliating each other is very important. A good relationship is about how we navigate our numerous differences and beliefs over politics, food, how to raise our children, and numerous and various differences. It is these differences that makes life interesting. In every relationship, it is important that we are able to express ourselves without fear or intimidation. Once you are able to overcome the need to conceal your true feelings and express yourself honestly and truthfully, then communication will begin. A lot of times we do not express our true feelings when we are communicating, especially when the truth of how we feel will hurt our partner. It becomes easier to lie or water down how you actually feel. For communication to be effective, we need to be able to communicate freely without fear of intimidation. We need to be able to express how we truly feel without necessarily feeling that our partner will intimidate us, humiliate us, or laugh at us. So let us look at ways we can make this possible when we are communicating in our marriage. Learning to talk about why without ridiculing or humiliating each other is very important. Understanding yourself and understanding your partner is critical to good communication in a relationship. Expert says that without understanding yourself and understanding other people, you will find it difficult to build meaningful relationship. Understanding yourself will give you the advantage of expressing yourself clearly in terms that is consistent with what you want. When you now understand your partner, you will be able to communicate to your partner in terms that is consistent with that person's needs and desire. A whole lot of time we speak to each other without communicating. We sometimes, and very often for that matter, listen just to reply. We don't listen to understand. We must learn how to listen to our partner and understand each other. Without communication, coexistence, like I said, is not possible. So we must take communication very important. It is the number one killer of marriages. we have to learn how to communicate with each other. Understanding each other is key. This is where understanding personality comes in. When you understand me and I understand you, I would recognize your priorities. Very often in life, and 95% of the time, we marry our opposites. That is where the saying comes in. Opposite attract, then they attack. Why do they attack? Because after you settle down to the harmony of the marriage, you begin to notice the differences. Our differences should be a bridge that will bring us together. When our likes are the things that unite us more, we need to understand each other. We need to understand your partner so that you know your partner's priorities. Most misunderstandings occur as a result of difference in priorities. Yes, a D person's priority, for example, is to get the job done. He's fast paced. He wants to do things and do it quickly. He is solution oriented. A D person is most likely to marry an S personality. An S personality, on the other hand, is an opposite of the D. She wants to take it easy. She's not fast paced. She wants to do the things gradually before getting to a conclusion. Now, these are two opposing priorities. If you don't understand personalities, you will never be able to overcome this difference that causes the majority of our misunderstandings in our home. So it is important that we understand personality. It is important. If you have not taken a personality assessment, please go online. There are thousands of free personality assessments online, so you can take one. Get your partner to take one so that you both understand each other's priority and you just don't talk to each other without communicating. Communication, like I said, is key and the number one killer of our marriages. So today, resolve to learn how to communicate with your partner so as to avoid stories that touch the heart. Number 2, work on yourself. Yes, work on yourself. It is very important that you are accountable. As much as we reap the love and benefits of love in a marriage, we also have to confront the real issues like conflicts, arguments, and disagreements. Remember, you cannot change anybody. It is only yourself that you can change. It is therefore very important that you work on yourself. You have to be the change you want to see in your partner. So let us work on ourselves. Let us see within ourselves what are the things that we do that is not right, that is causing conflicts in our marriages. In this way, we are able to improve our relationship and be the best version of ourselves. Remember, it is what you sow that you reap. To sustain our marriage, we must not focus on the things we cannot change. When you focus on the things you cannot change, you will lose your focus. This brings me to the story of myself, which I would like to share at this point. For 20 years I was married and I always had communication problem. The first time I had a breakthrough in understanding myself and understanding my partner was after I've had all my children and they were grown. At least all of them were teenagers. I came across this personality test online and I took it. For the first time, I saw that, yes, everything we wanted in life was the same thing, but our priorities were different. My husband is a high C person and I a DS person. We share the same S personality. Like I always say, it is your similarities that draws you together, and your differences is what pulls you apart if you don't know how to handle those differences. I, as a D person with a D personality trait in me, I'm a bottom line person. I want to get it done. When I have to move from point A to B, as soon as I identify point B, I take off because I want to get to point B. On the other hand, my husband wants to know. He wants to plan the journey. He wants to know what happens between point A and B. He wants to know the obstacles on the way. He wants to know how to overcome those obstacles, and he believes in detailed plans. I didn't see any need for the detailed plans, and for that singular reasons that our priorities were different. I just want to get the job done. I just want to do it. He wants to plan. He wants to make sure that he gets to where he's going. A typical D person will just take off, and when he meets obstacles, he can make a detour. But for the C person, that's a waste of time. So you can see that just because of the difference in priorities, there was argument about everything. In as much as we wanted the same thing, we never agreed on the way to do it. And that was a massive, huge problem in my home. Understanding personality is what will help you to navigate these difficult terrains. It is your differences that makes life interesting. After all, it is those differences that brought you together in the first place, because you enjoyed the newness and the uniqueness of what you didn't have. So you were attracted to your partner. In the same way, your partner enjoyed the uniqueness and the differences of the things that were not in he or she, and he was attracted to you. Whether we like it or not, we're always looking for that thing that is not in us, so that we are completed by our partners. That is why we say in marriage we don't compete, we should complete each other. So communication in marriage is key. Next week we would be concluding this topic. But before we go, remember, when you entered into your marriage, you signed for better, for worse. You signed to be happy forever after. Therefore, it is advisable to always learn new things, compromise, listen to each other, to understand, not just listening to give a reply. Sustaining a marriage is not a fast food snack that you grab as you race through life. You don't wish a garden, you plant a garden. So whatever we want to see in our relationship, we must be accountable. We must plant. The law of sowing and reaping applies to every marriage. Until I come your way next time, remember, you cannot sustain your marriage by doing what you like. You must live according to the rules and the dictates of universal values. Remember to like, share, and comment. See you next time. Bye.